So might as well do
Okay.
this. Hello, 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 everyone. My name is Alana. I am co founder of Digital Green Book, and today I'm bringing a special treat to you. This is Ahmed Partey. He is Ghana's first NFT artist. In addition to that, he is taking leaps and bounds by integrating himself into the Web3 space. He literally has put his art into augmented and virtual reality and is pioneering the way for Ghana and Africa, in my opinion. But thank you so much for being here today, Ahmed.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So, a little bit of what I wanted to do, aside from introducing people to you and your amazing
Yeah.
art, was literally just have a conversation sort of about what's going on with the NFT scene in Ghana, how you found yourself in this sort of art space, which is very
Yeah,
unique. It's a niche space right now. And
definitely.
some of the things that you hope to see for the future or things that you plan on learning. So let's get into it.
Okay.
So,
All right.
Ahmed, what
All right.
what made you want to take your art into this sort of medium, like to a digital Web3 type medium?
Yeah, I think that I started as in the traditional field of arts, but I found some sort of interest in digital arts, using computer to create art. So I just like the flexibility of using computer to create art. It has this flexibility and this freedom to it. You can do whatever you want, kind of, and it looks like the future of art. So I found a lot of interest, and then I just focus on creating art digitally. For a period of time, I was just creating art digitally. And funny thing is, I was hearing about crypto, right? But I not really. It was still complicated for me to understand at that point, and I was just focused on creating my art, and um, it got to the point where one time I was just there, and then I got an email from from some institution, so like a marketplace, and then they were trying to explain what NFC. They explained to me that there's something new, that's NFTs, and it's related to cryptos, and you can sell your work. And it was a lot for me at the first time because I had no idea. And this happened in May 2020.
Mm.
So I had to like do background research and try to understand what this marketplace is. The marketplace is actually Maker's Place. Yeah, they are the ones that facilitated people's 69 million
Yeah,
alignment to sales.
I know
Yeah,
people.
yeah. So I was interested, and then I kind of read about it, and I thought, well, there's something interesting. I'm already a digital artist. I've always been making digital art. I have so many works, so let me just put some works up there. And then I put some works up there, and I realized that after a week or two, I started selling. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. So I started reading more, learning more, and I realized that this is actually what I've always been waiting for. That sort of freedom that artists need, and that sort of connection that artists need. So
That
yeah,
Let's touch on that right quick. So, I have a lot of creative friends. I wouldn't say that I'm in the drawing sense, at least artistically gifted myself, but
yeah,
I appreciate art. I love to obtain art. I love going to museums and things of that nature. In fact, that was the first
yeah,
place I met you.
yeah,
Back
definitely, yeah,
I went on an art crawl in 2019 when I came to Accra, and you literally were our guide through that entire
yeah,
process.
yeah,
And that's why I couldn't leave you alone. I'm like, he's so dope. I have to follow him, follow his work. Um, but literally, what I find in a world that seems to value the technical side of things more, the science and the math things, which are things that we need, we leave out the beauty and the creativeness of artists. But that seems to be the thing that almost everyone's drawn to. We love beautiful things, we love creative things, we love things that make us think. So, you being a person that creates those sort of things, are you finding that these new mediums are allowing you to at least be able to monetize or capitalize on your gift, on your skill set of creating art?
yeah, definitely. It's as I keep saying, it gives that freedom. It gives me that freedom to
Mhm.
create my works and still sell my works, and then I'm not really held back by any specific thing of that sort. I think
Mhm.
we just one thing about being an artist is that it's not only about the art, but it's also about that freedom that you want to have. You know, you want to own and control everything. You understand? I mean, you cannot completely control and own everything, but then you want to control and own, you know, to an extent, a considerable extent. So it's important that while you're an artist, you still look out for avenues that will make it possible for these things to happen. And I think that getting into NFTs was like a great avenue, and so I had to just, you know, take advantage of it, you know, and then, you know, make it happen.
I think that's amazing. What I'm going to take a second and do is pull up some of your web pages so people can follow along and check out your amazing art. So there's two websites here that people can definitely get into. This is one of my favorite ones, ArtStation, because it literally gives a great overview of all of the different styles of Ahmed's work.
Yeah.
Literally, you can come on here and look at everything from prints. Like some of my favorites are your sculptures. I see where the inspiration has led into your NFTs. Like that's
Yeah,
my.
definitely. Definitely.
And then most recently, his main website is literally his name dot art, and you can see it here on the screen. I'll also link his social medias at the end of this interview. But literally, I've watched this get so refined even over the last year. I think is beautiful. How would you describe this medium?
Are you talking about the 3D medium or the digital medium in
Both,
general?
because it's both.
Yeah, I think that as I keep saying that as an artist, we need to think of art as anything can be art. You understand my point? So merely you see beyond that, you are able to take advantage of any medium and then make art out of it. You
Mhm.
understand me? So I when I started creating art, I was trying to look at art that way. So I realized, okay, you know what? Immediately I find or I figure out my point of view as an artist.
Mm.
I figured out myself in this art realm, then I can use any medium to create art. So, you know, I can create art in 2D, I can create art the same style in the 3D space, I can create the same style in augmented reality, I can create the same thing in VR, which is exciting. VR is crazy, you know. So the digital medium gives you this broad range of flexibility, you know. Well, I'm a traditional artist as well. I do traditional art as well, but I've done a lot more digital art because first of the speed, you know, in over a short period, you can be able to create a lot more works, and then there's less restraint, you know. Let's say I want to do traditional art, I need to, you know, take a canvas, prime the canvas, get paints, get brush, and then maybe by the time I'm done with, you know, setting up this, stretching the canvas, I might just be tired and maybe paint the next day or something, right? But the day I got my iPad, I'm like, oh, you know what? I got an iPad, and the moment you pick up the iPad and your Apple Pencil, you are working, you know. So you're able to create so many works over a short period of time. And the exciting thing is that I was using this software known as this 2D software to create. I think it's Procreate to create so many works, and then it got to a point where I saw this new software. It's a 3D software. It's called I think what's the name? Nomad Sculpt or something. It's a sculpting software. That's in a 3D software on the
Mm.
iPad, and it's so intuitive. So I just picked it up, and then because I already have a point of view of my art, I just, you know, import the same concept and then bring it into 3D and then create 3D. And then you know what? I can even export it as augmented reality work. I can export it, you know. So the range of possibility when it comes to digital art is so amazing, and that's why I'm so excited about it. And then I'm always, you know, in that space wanting to create, keep creating, and keep creating more.
I think that's so dope. And
Yeah,
even the reason why I think creation, the way that artists create, goes right along with technology. It's sort of exactly what you just said. You already have your concept and your point of view as an artist,
yeah,
and then a new
yeah,
medium comes out, and you're able to
yeah.
put your consciousness right into that new medium.
Exactly. Just plug in right there. You just plug in. That's the crazy thing. Yes, you
That's
just
so
plug in right
cool.
there.
Because
Yeah.
that's literally what's happening with technology, with money. Like these things keep evolving, but the concept or the thought of it is still what it is. Like Our
Yeah.
parents were using 8 tracks and records, and we stream
Yeah.
music.
Yeah. Yeah. You
You
know,
know,
yeah. So I think that basic grasping of the concept is one thing that a lot of people miss lately. Where so probably one of the reasons why it's hard for some people to still grasp the concept of crypto and all that. Because when you grasp the concept in basics, like, okay, what is money? If you only see money as money is the dollar I'm sending to you and you're taking back that paper, that's what money is, then you really get money. But when you understand money on the basics of what money is, just like it's is a mutual form of trade between two people, right? It sounds like some basic ideas that merely you understand, you can be able to transport these ideas into every field and then it works, you know. So it's all about and getting a basic idea of what it is, and then you so far as you get a basic idea, anytime it evolves, it's no big deal. You understand the basic ideas. When it evolves, you know it's the same thing as just evolving, you know. So those are some of
what
the
I
exciting things.
what I noticed when I was in Accra is that a lot of the younger generation, the young kids, um, a lot of them were into photography, and a lot of them were into drones. And I found that they were, in my opinion, more advanced in the curation of content, like putting reels together, making high definition videos, editing film and
Mm,
content than
yeah,
their peers were here in America. It's like, and I say that to say, like, they're, I feel as though, especially with how you're pioneering inside of this art space, I haven't seen here as many people be as comfortable with the medium the way that you are. And that's why I really wanted to have this conversation about the art scene in
yeah,
Ghana, because this is very
yeah,
forward thinking, in my opinion. Are you
yeah.
noticing that other artists are hungry to learn to use the mediums or try other mediums to express their artwork in the way that you are? Because I know you hold classes how to do these things in your community. So what are you finding the temperature is, so to speak, or
Mm,
what's people's response to this sort of style of creating art where you are now?
mm, mm. Yeah, that was a great question, actually. You know, unfortunately, um, there's a problem I have observed, and I feel it's normally stems from
Hmm.
our arts education. And I feel
Mm.
like going through school, the schools unfortunately educate the artists to be, you know what, if you're an artist, then you'd have to just be drawing people. Take a pencil, draw someone. So people have this perception, if you're an artist, okay, then you're just drawing people, right? But they are not able to go in depth, like, okay, think about art as something that you can like a clay that you can use to mold anything you want. So
Hmm.
people end up coming out of schools and then they are just stuck in one box. They are artists, but they're like sort of stuck in one box. So they're just doing the same thing. They come in and they okay, they're doing what everyone else is doing. They come out, okay, people are doing portraits. Okay, then it means I also need to do portraits, and everyone is doing portraits. You know, so it's like everybody comes out and they're doing the same thing. So it's you have a few people who are trying to come out, but most of the time everybody wants to do the same thing. And
Hmm.
I feel sometimes it's because sometimes some people feel like, oh, you know what, these other artists are doing these portraits and then maybe they are selling this. So I also want to do portraits so that I'll sell. You know, people want to create work because they've seen other people create the same thing, the same style, the same thing, and then others are buying it. So they also want to create the same thing. So you realize that the market is filled with people just replicating the same sort of things, you know. Um, Unlike me where I want to look at things from a different point of view, which has its own downsides because I mean you're doing the kind of thing. Nobody's really interested in what you're doing. People are not really seeing what you're seeing, and you'll be broke for a long period of time because you know nobody's really you'll be broke for a long period of time. That's one of the crazy things about it. So people don't really get the vision. People don't really get that you're looking at something different, and so even for even the normal digital art field, I realized that around the time I got my first iPad, I didn't know of anybody, any Ghanaian using iPad to do digital art because
Hmm.
people were used to doing traditional art, or the few digital artists were actually using Wacom tablets, right? Wacom tablet is like for art, digital art. You connect it to your computer, and then when you draw on it, kind of like reflects on your computer. And a lot of the artists use that. And one thing too is that they're not necessarily doing digital art; they're more of doing like digital illustration. So illustrate characters, and stuff. Yeah, but they're sort of like focusing on creating art, but then doing it digitally. Had like a few people, or almost nobody really doing that. So it wasn't a field that people were not really interested in, you know. So
Right.
these are some of the things. So I think recently that I've seen a few digital artists actually using the iPad to make art. So it's when you understand, I feel like when you understand this whole the concept, anytime there's a new technology, you realize that okay, this is for me. I need to take advantage of it and use it. Because I was always dreaming of using well, the funny thing is that when I got the money, I was thinking of buying. I wanted to buy a Wacom tablet, and I got the money. And then a friend of mine, we were having a discussion, and then he raised the iPad and the Apple Pencil thing. But I didn't really take it serious at that time. But then later on, I did my own research and I went on YouTube and I was watching videos like, wow, this is actually way better because then I have this. I can make art anywhere. You can be in bed, make art. Be in room, make art. Being like anywhere you are. Unlike the Wacom tablets where you need power, electricity, you need to connect to your laptop. If there's no power, you can't work. You always need to be connected. But then with the iPad, you can charge it. It can be anywhere. So that flexibility. So there's that issue of people always wanting to do what is already there, or what they are used to, or what they grew up to meet, and it's hard to convince them that art is more than just that. Yeah.
Right. That makes sense though, because I find that to be the same case in like music creation, or literally that concept applies to anything. People go with what they're comfortable with, and they're a little nervous breaking outside of the box and trying new things. So of the people who come to your classes, what are you finding is different about them or their temperament where they're like, I'm gonna try it this way, forget what everyone else.
Well, so when I started the classes, the focus was for digital artists to take advantage of NFTs, right? And one of the main problems I faced was that there weren't a lot of digital artists that even now there are few digital artists that are focusing on doing digital art. But then there aren't a lot of digital artists that are focusing on digital art. They were more doing like digital illustrations to put it that way. And the NFT space is a new medium totally, and trying to explain it to them was hard because it was still new and it was still hard for people to get. And so it was a tough thing because some people understood it, but a lot of people, it was hard for them to understand the concept. Plus, but I understand our society is a bit hard, so people want to make money really quick. I mean, it's generally everybody wants to make money really quick, but for here, it's like if you don't make the money, you're not going to eat. So people don't want to, they don't want to try anything that you're not too sure of. But there are risks involved. But then when you are able to get over the risks, because I was teaching people about the NFTs and all that, and a lot of the questions that came is people they want to make the money right now. Like if I put my work up right now, am I going to sell right now? But it doesn't work that way. You understand me? You put your work up and then you won't sell for a long time. You don't even know when you're going to sell. So these are some of the things, things that you need to understand before you actually get into these fields of like NFT field and all of that.
That makes sense. And watching us go through that NFT cycle boom, because of course a lot of people are calling bear market right now. And if we go with that assumption, when with the markets being in the infancy of crypto still, like Bitcoin's still only a teenager, and any crypto that came after that, even Ethereum being the second one, second most popular one rather, people still have a lot of skepticism around that. Like to the common layperson that I go out to and discuss crypto with, they're still like talking about stocks and bonds, and I'm like, not that those things aren't okay to learn about, but the way we
Mhm.
think about money and investing really has to shift if we're talking about generational wealth in the future. But instead of going down that rabbit hole, I say all that to say I know when this last wave came up with NFTs, there's NFTs that I own. I'm more so about tokens of access. Like if you curate a community and build them up, and then you're like, okay, everyone who holds this NFT, this gets you into certain meetings, this gets you into certain content, things like that. I'm all for that. And then I'm also for owning NFTs just for the sake of being an appreciative person of that
Yeah.
artist's work. Um,
Yeah.
but I know explaining that concept to people is coming. I think people are catching on to it
Yeah.
definitely. Showing them how to use the technology of wallets, showing them how to pay in crypto, teaching them all those different things is a bit of a learning curve. So people are already fearful and skeptical of losing money when it comes to learning a new technology
Yeah.
in that way as
Yeah.
well.
Definitely.
But I think it's something that'll be indispensable. It is already indispensable, whether people realize it or not. I know a lot of tech giants are looking to make tokens of access a thing. Like, even say we want to go to a concert, Ticketmaster's like, okay, you're going to have to buy an NFT to go to the concert. And depending
Yeah.
on what terms of agreement the artist has with it, this might get you
Yeah.
into other future concerts at a discount or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Definitely.
I'm excited that we're at the infancy of it, and I'm excited that you're a pioneer literally in this space. Um, I'm hopeful that the cycle won't scare too many people away from it, but I believe that the people that truly believe in the technology and the medium are where they need to be. And
Yeah.
us pushing through even in this sort of market is literally important because it shows consistency, because I really do believe in this technology, but
Definitely.
but as you look down the road and double back, it shows a level of permanence as well. You're gonna be like, no, I'm the
Yeah.
first NFT artist. What's like,
Yeah.
hey,
You can just one interesting thing is that uh, I can just be like, okay, I'm the first NFT artist, but then what is there to back it up? Maybe some few people, bloggers or something, might say this that, but then the fact is there. You go on, you can check details, you check the facts. The first day I minted, every day, it's public. One of the interesting things about NFTs and all that, you don't need to brag about something or say something and then you don't have any facts. And when it comes to NFTs and crypto, it's always public. Everything is public. He says he's the first. Okay, so let's check it out. So then you check it out and then you see the evidence. It's first. It's public. You don't need to hide it from anyone. So this is some of the great things. It's a lot of things when it comes to crypto is public. It's open, so you can easily get access to it, find out what it is and what is not, and then you'll be able to tell the difference between who's doing something and who's just talking. And which I've noticed lately, there are so many people who are just like, I mean, it's funny, and I don't know. Some people just go into crypto and NFTs, like a few months ago, or last year or 2 years or something, and they are now, specialists in the field, and they are now, consultants and all that. And these are some of the people that are actually making it hard for others to understand NFTs, because if you want someone to teach you about crypto and NFTs, you need someone who has been in it long enough, who is actually trading, who is actually interacting in that space. You understand me? They've
yeah,
lost something, they've gained something. Because if you haven't lost anything in NFTs and crypto, then you're not doing it right.
facts,
You need to lose something, and then
facts.
you know, so you lose something, you gain something, and then when you're teaching people or advising people, it makes sense because okay, you're able to tell people from experience, and it's not like stuff you've read and then you haven't really done it, or you haven't really. So a lot of people go online and they get a few books and then they read a few things, and they don't have no crypto, they don't have no NFT, they haven't sold any NFT, they haven't bought any NFT, but they are specialists in the field. They are
You're reading my
advisors,
whole life right now.
they are
Like
consultants, you
that's
know.
so legitimate, because even
Yeah,
myself, like something other people know about me is I'm a funded trader, and when you're talking about forex markets or crypto and leverage trading, everyone's an expert, everyone's a master. I tell people all the time I'm in my infancy, really. I began my trading journey around 2018. And
that's infancy. Damn.
Yeah.
2018 is not infancy. There are big dogs in this thing.
Big dog. And I worked to get a level of proficiency, and now I trade professionally for a company, FTMO. And it's been a labor of love, but I even say I'm still in my infancy. I've lost, I've gained, and now I have a level of consistency I'm proud of. And it's so interesting looking at other like traders' content, because I'm like, what type of content do I want to create in that space? And I always hesitate because I'm like, what do I want to, am I going to put my strategy? So I feel that way too. It's just so interesting. But as I curate things, I'm like, okay, maybe I could be more artistic with it, which is why I like this too, this tokenization of art, this tokenization of education, even smart contracts. But I'm exploring a lot of things right now.
It's a great space. So
it was something that you haven't tried yet inside of the art space that you're looking forward to trying.
Is it in relation to crypto and NFTs or just the art field?
Either one. Something you haven't tried that you're looking forward to trying.
I'm thinking of what I'm thinking of. I don't know whether it's possible now, but I wish there were I don't know when there will be softwares that or hardwares and softwares that will project art, 3D art in physical space, and you don't need to use your phone or AR glasses to view. You get it? So yeah, I've seen some people experiment with some hardware like that, but I wish it was something that you can easily get access to, so that you can have like a big art exhibition, and then you're gonna see like this giant, big art exhibition. You're gonna see like this giant 3D piece by digital, and it's like more of an AR projection, or more of like a holographic projection of the artwork, and then you can walk around it. You can own the artwork. It can easily be transferred to you. You understand me? You can project the artwork in physical space, or you can project that same artwork in AR space or in VR space. Those kind of things. I think it will be exciting to have that.
What? I'm gonna have to look a little bit more deeply into that, but I do think I recall there being that sort of push for that sort of medium where you don't need glasses to see augmented reality, or you won't need a VR headset to broadcast art. Like you can almost, it feels like it's part of the real world.
But
like a holographic projection, but like I'm gonna definitely do a little research and get back to you. But I do believe I've heard something recently about that.
Yeah, I think there are some experiments, but I wish there could be this. There have been some experiments, but then it's like you need a lot of money to be able to afford the hardware to project them.
Yeah,
you understand me? So what I wish we had was the technology that would be easy to replicate, so that you can be able to have a lot more people will be able to own it, like the way we can easily own a computer or something, and then you kind of or a VR headset, and then you fix it, and then you have that. But I think one cooler way too is the AR glasses. Recently I've seen some AR glasses experiments. There's this Unreal. I think Unreal is a company. They have this AR glasses, but you always need to connect it to your phone, and then you can watch. You can watch videos in the AR glasses. You can interact with AR in it. I think that we are gradually getting to the point where you have something. I think Ray-Ban is experimenting with taking videos and pictures with their Ray-Ban glasses. There's a new Ray-Ban set of glasses where you put the glasses on, and then you can take videos and pictures. There's tiny cameras in the front, like the Snapchat thing. Yeah, but I think that it will be great to get to the point where the Ray-Ban glasses, AR glasses is like a normal thing, like a using an iPhone, so you just put it on, and then there can be an art exhibition, and then you with your naked eyes, you don't see anything in the room, right? But when you put on the AR glasses, boom, you are in an art
Wow.
exhibition. I think it'll be amazing because in the AR glasses, it'll be cool because it's like a normal glasses, it's a normal sheet. You can put it on, walk everywhere. It's a normal thing. So it'll be great to have things like that. So, but I think there are areas that are being experimented on, and people are working out things like that. There are people who are creating these things, and as time goes on, it'll be easy to get access to them. And I think it'll be fun. I like that, that experiment and that exploration. Finding that bridge between physical and digital space, and then the VR space and all that. It's really exciting.
I think it might come sooner rather than later, just because of
Yeah,
the rate at which technology is advancing
yeah,
is speeding
definitely.
up.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna come soon. I think that I've seen some signs of Facebook Meta working with Ray-Ban. So Ray-Ban launched this glasses with the cameras and where you can take videos and pictures, right? You just tap the side, and then it has like inbuilt speakers and all that. But it looks like a normal Ray-Ban glasses. You wouldn't really see the difference. And they worked with Meta to create that. And I feel like maybe they are experimenting and working with Meta to have this AR Ray-Ban glasses. And I think it's going to be exciting. So imagine you have your AR Ray-Ban glasses on. Like, to everyone, it looks like a normal Ray-Ban glasses, but then there's so much amazing things, cool things happening inside. You go to an art exhibition, you put it on, and then it's crazy. And one thing is that I love so much about digital art is this flexibility where when we deal with traditional art, let's say
Mhm.
you have like this giant, you create this giant artwork, like you create this giant, let's say 20 feet tall um, sculpture piece, right? If
Mhm.
it's traditional, it means you need to do a lot of you need a lot of vehicles need to move the whole piece together. You need like 20 people and 30 people to put pieces together and have like this giant piece in one space, right? And
Right.
when you fix it at one space, that's it. You cannot easily move it from one space to the other space because you need to dismantle it and put it together. It's so much work and so much logistics involved. It's just too much. But when it's digital, right? You can have the biggest digital piece.
That's
All you
true.
need is if something like the AR glasses is common, or is an easy access for everyone, just like our iPhones is easy access to us. Then this digital piece can be an NFT, and it can be transferred easily. You don't need 10,000 people to put a piece up. You create it one time, and that's it. One click away. You hit one click, and then you can send the piece from here to somewhere else, anywhere else in the world, or
Across the
out of the
world.
world. So there's this flexibility, and it's exciting. You want to do exhibitions. Like I've done some NFT exhibitions, and it's so cool. You don't need
Really?
to put all your works up. Yeah, we did something there. We have there's this metaverse. They normally do art exhibitions, and it's called what's the name? I I forgot the name. But what they do is that they create like this. You put on your VR headset, and then you do the art exhibition. So everybody has a VR headset, and then you show in. Do you have a VR headset?
I do. I have an Oculus.
Great, great. I also have an Oculus. So you put it on, and then you are in this metaverse, and then there's an exhibition happening, and then the artworks are all in there, and then you're
Yeah,
having conversations, and then it's amazing, right?
it
And
is.
we are in the early stages of this because there's so many experiments being made. But the point is that I don't need to. If they call me or they send me a message, oh, you know what, we need your works for this art exhibition. I don't need to go hustle, take the work off the stretcher, roll it, put it in this drive to send it, all that bullshit. I don't need to do all of that. A few
Right.
clicks, they have the work. A few clicks, the work is up. So it makes things easy. It cuts down a lot of cost, unnecessary stress, and unnecessary stuff. And
Labor, physical effort,
yeah,
all of it.
necessarily. Yeah. So these are some of I think these are some of the advantages, some of the great things about digital art, about crypto, about NFTs. And
Yes.
you can also sell these works as NFTs as well. In this, that's a great thing about, the amazing thing right now is
Mm.
the connection of digital art, NFTs, and crypto. I
around the
think that's
world.
what give me a minute, please.
Mhm. I think it makes it where art is accessible for everyone. I think that's such a beautiful
Yeah,
thing.
sorry, my battery.
Accessibility. Oh, you're fine.
Yeah, I
But
plugged it in, so I'm good. Yeah. Yeah, so so I was saying that we have this these three things go hand in hand now. It's inseparable. NFTs, crypto, digital art. You understand me? It's like they're moving to the same. So it's like Web3 is like it's filled with all these. You understand me? It's like they are
yeah,
interconnected, right? So you can have a metaverse, and then someone can walk into any metaverse or walk into any gallery, and you can actually easily buy the digital art that you see, right? And it's easily
right.
transferable to the next owner. The records are always there. You click it, you know the owner. You click, you buy it, or you send it to this person and that person. There's this interesting interconnection in this space, and these are some of the most exciting things I have noticed about Web3, in the NFT crypto space. You know,
Yeah. I love it because it's like not only is there so much beauty in the blockchain and the fact that everything's documented, but
yes,
literally as time goes on, I think that even that technology will get better and better. And
definitely,
I'm excited to see how, as time passes, people use these tools and this technology to get even more creative inside of this space.
yeah,
What's something so if for the people who want to reach out and connect to you, is your website the best way to do that?
yes. You can connect to me via my website. Um, my email is contacts@ahmedparty.art.
Got you.
You know,
I got
yeah,
the contact here. And I'm really looking forward to seeing more of your art as time goes on because it's literally getting more and more refined.
yeah.
Are
Thank
there
you.
any classes or class series that you have planned for the future coming up?
Um, for now, no. But I have some plans in the pipeline. To still do some more education, but it hasn't been. I haven't. It's not well defined. Well defined for now. Yeah, but I recently did some few classes with my friend, the founder of African Blockchain University. So we did some NFC education in some parts of Ghana and then Nigeria. I wasn't able to go to the Nigeria one, so I did it online, and then we were supposed to do some in other parts of Africa as well. So these are some of the things. Yeah, but personally, I still have some plans. They are still in the pipeline, right? To just help a lot more, educate a lot more artists, tell a lot more artists about this exciting space, and to get in and experiment with it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That and then the
Yeah.
exhibition scene there. What is that like when it comes to finding events or hosting events to showcase your artwork?
Well, when it comes to hosting and showcasing events in here, it's a bit complicated, right?
Hmm.
It's easier to do this traditional. It's like a lot more people expect traditional art more than
Mhm.
digital art, but there are still some Ghanaian digital artists who are setting up and creating all these exhibitions and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
I am still working on, because I want to create some sort of exhibition, digital art exhibition, but I've got to the point where I want some kind of experience that the people should have when they come, and I feel like there are a few things that need to be put in place for them to have that experience. Because I want people to have like this digital art experience where you walk into an art exhibition and it's not just the boring works on the wall, but maybe some digital art exhibition, which is some of the problems because you would have to buy a digital art frame where you have a digital art being animated on loop, and it's quite expensive to buy these digital art frames. But these are some of the areas that I am looking at because I think it'll be more exciting because you're seeing art and then it's like moving on loop. It's more interesting than having like just a print on the walls.
Yeah, like
And
a static piece.
yeah, so the the thing is that you see when we're talking about the VR headset and you were saying that this is actually a bit off topic too, but when you were saying you had the VR, the Oculus, and one of the things about people and getting used to a certain software is the software. The technology can be exciting, but if there's no way of making it en masse and selling it as cheap as you can, then it's hard for people to move on. It's hard for us to like move on to the next generation of finding interest in this field. And I feel like that's what Meta helped do. Oculus helped do because before Oculus came up with their cheap headsets, there was these other headsets, and it's like clunky. You need to fix this, fix that, put a camera here, put on a big fucking thing on your face. Sorry, connect it. Walking around with a cable behind you, and it's clunky and ridiculous, and it's expensive, about $1,000. And people are not really like they don't really see why they should spend so much money on something like that. But the moment Oculus Quest 2 came, it was cheaper, was simpler and easy to use, flexible, and then you have a lot more people. Because if you look at the charts, if you go check the data, look at the chart, realize that when Oculus Quest 2 came out, is when a lot more people bought.
That was my first one.
Exactly, it's my first one too. So most people who are using VR headsets, they are using Oculus Quest 2, right? Because it's cheaper and then it's easier to just put on, and then you put it on, boom, you are in it. You don't need to, So these are some of the So some of the exciting things. So it's about good quality technology, but then cheap enough for everyday people to easily afford it and then use it. So
And
these
even
things are
for the
gonna.
Oculus, like I love it because the thing I love to do in there the most are like 3D puzzles and things like that. And you really do feel like you step into another world. Sometimes I have to frequently
Yes.
check, like, am I still in my living room?
You just want to be sure.
But it's like,
Okay.
even with that, I don't use it as much as I could because it's still a
Yeah.
little uncomfortable.
Yes. Even with that, it's still a little uncomfortable. So that's why they are still doing research and they're still exploring how to make it more comfortable and then still cheaper. It's one of the hardest things that these people face because you want to make it more comfortable, you want to make it cheaper so that a lot more people can get it. Just like almost everybody has an iPhone, and those are some of the things that they are still working on. But I think that we are not far from getting to that point. And right now, we have a lot more people using Oculus Quest. So even though it's a bit uncomfortable, it's still exciting because there are a few things to do. For instance, from our Oculus Quest to it comes with this strap, this annoying strap because it gives kind of weight. There's so much weight on your forehead and in your eyes.
Yes.
But then they have an elite strap where you fix it on, and then it has a balance. It's a bit heavier in the back. So when you put it on, you don't have the weight in your front, so it feels more comfortable with the elite strap. So there are still things that are making it's more comfortable. So as time goes on, as things progress, it will be lighter, and then people will be. But I think that one of the most amazing experiences that I've had as an artist is making art in VR. It's
Yeah.
mind blowing. That experience is crazy. So like when I said it, I bought my Oculus Quest 2. I think I bought it 2 years ago, but I wasn't really using it much. Once in a while, I just use it for the VR walk in the metaverse and the art exhibitions, or maybe do some boxing in there, which was fun. When you're using it for boxing and you're using it for working out and things like so exciting. But then if I think like a few months ago, I started exploring. I'd already installed the apps for making art in VR, but then I already used them. And then one time, I think like 2 months ago or so, one time I just decided to start, and then when I started, I realized that wow, this is what it means to be free when you're creating art. You know, like honestly, it's crazy. It's amazing. It's
What app
amazing.
in the Oculus is good for artists? So people who have Oculus, like I didn't even know there was such an app. What app
Yeah,
did you download?
yeah. So there's Tails Brush by Google. It's
Mm.
discontinued, but you can get it for free.
Ooh, where? Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I think around the time they released the app, you know, there weren't a lot of people using Oculus SS, so they felt like they were not making much money, so they discontinued it, right? But then right after they discontinued, that's where a lot more people bought Oculus Quest 2, and then now, so it's basically free. Tilt Brush, it's amazing. Creating art in Tilt Brush is the whole experience on its own. It's you can't it's you just have to do creating it and then you get it. Then there's Open Brush. Open Brush is just an open source version of Tilt Brush. They're like some group of people who are trying to, you know, since Tilt Brush is discontinued, they're kind of like creating something in the updating Tilt Brush in a way. So then they're adding extra features and things of that sort.
Oh
It's so
wow.
amazing because you are painting in 3D. You have the amazing thing is you are painting in 3D. You are holding a brush. It's like a 3D brush, and you're actually painting in 3D space. And you're creating pieces in 3D space, and you're moving them around. You know, so it's like you're like this digital god creating digital things in this space. And then there's Gravity Sketch. Gravity Sketch is more of like a 3D software thing, but it's still great. Gravity Sketch helps you create. You also create 3D models and stuff in VR. They are consistent. Yeah, Gravity Sketch, they are consistent. They're always coming up with updates and all. And there's yeah, I talked about Open Brush. Open Brush is just like an updated version of it. Yeah, but there's Gravity Sketch. Then there's one interesting one too. It's known as um, um King, is it King Spray or something? King Spray. That one I think is so it gives you this so if it's amazing for street artists because you are
Mhm.
basically a street artist by VR space. So you have all your spray cans, you choose a place to go make graffiti, and it's amazing. Like when you're spraying on the walls and everything, it feels like you're actually using spray paint. It's crazy. It's you know it's insane. VR is an insane thing. Yes, it's insane. But
Spray.
I think my personal favorite software is the Tilt Brush and Open Brush as well because that freedom that I get when I'm creating. Like I've never felt that way. I've never felt that complete freedom in creating art where creating art in 3D space. You can walk around the artwork. You can. It's crazy. Art in VR is a whole. It's an experience that is indescribable. You just have to experience it on your own. Then you get it.
I sort of, you know what? It's like I know it may sound interesting, but this is spiritual to me
Definitely is.
because, like
It,
you literally touched on it, like the ability to feel as though you can create.
yeah.
That's wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't even know they had these. I'm gonna definitely check all three of these out.
Yeah. They are crazy. I think King Spray is I've forgotten the price, but I think Tilt Brush is free because it's discontinued now. But it's free because it's open source now. But Gravity Sketch is so then they sell the Gravity Sketch and then they sell the King Spray too. But it's not too expensive to buy. But
I'm
it's
looking
really
for this
exciting.
one first because this is
Yeah,
like this of all three are like this one's my vibe. So
yeah yo, the first time when I started creating in Tilt Brush, I realized I was like, wow, you know, this this is what this is what art is, for me because I felt like this is the how art is supposed to be made. You know that's how it feels. You know, it's
mm,
like I'm used to creating on the 2D surface because at the end when you're creating on the 2D surface, you're actually trying to create an illusion. When I take a paper and I'm making a painting, I make a painting of a room. I'm trying to create an illusion for the eyes because it's a flat plane. You can't have a room 3D room on a flat plane. So you have to create an illusion of depth, you know. So, but when you're creating in Tilt Brush, you're actually in the 3D space. You don't have to create an illusion. You're actually creating a thing from scratch, and it feels spiritual. Yeah, definitely, because the way I feel about creating masks, and the way I feel a sort of connection to the ancestral philosophies and the way they created masks, and finding myself in this modern space where I'm using digital mediums to create. It's an experience that is more on a spiritual plane. Excitement and everything. It's crazy and it's amazing. And viewing the work in VR, it's oof. Because when you put it on, you're viewing the work. It's actually another thing. So it's crazy. So yeah, I think that's where art is gonna. That's where the guitar art is heading to. Where all the guitar artists be creating in VR. Mad.
I'm excited. I'm
Yeah,
excited to see where it goes. I'm excited to see what you create. And I'm looking forward to interviewing you again because I already know you're going to be doing amazing things.
yeah,
Point
yeah,
blank,
definitely,
period. So next time
definitely,
you're having a showcase in VR, please let me know.
definitely. No problem, no problem,
Well, thank you so
no
much,
problem.
Ahmed, for being here. I think this was a very important and robust conversation. And hopefully, people will pay more attention to the VR art space. I think
Yeah,
people are interested, they just don't know where to look. I just learned about 3 art programs and I own a whole
yeah,
Oculus. Didn't even know we had them. So,
yeah. There are a
thank
lot
you.
more. Yeah, there are a lot more. There's Vermilion. That one is for if it gives you the feeling of creating, um,
Dominion.
oil painting. And Vermilion is like you walk into it's like a what do you call it? A maestro's digital art studio where there's a canvas, and then there are paints and paint brushes. So you just pick a paint and paint brush, and then you paint on a canvas. But it's all of that is inside of VR space.
Okay.
So yeah,
Understood.
have you seen it?
No, I'm looking for it's Dominion.
Vermilion.
Vermilion. Vermilion.
Yeah,
Let's see. There we go. Vermilion on Oculus.
yeah,
Mm,
that's
I
it.
hadn't seen this one either.
Yeah, yeah. So there's a feel you get a feel of painting on canvas by in digital space. Yeah, so you have like a brushes, your paint, your easel, everything. You can mix colors and all that. I, I think it's great for not just professional artists, but for anybody else who just want to be creative. Because some of these things can help you psychologically. You just feel stressed a bit. You put on your VR headset and then you do some few paintings. It's crazy, and you don't need to worry about paint splashing all over. You don't need to worry about you know getting a canvas and getting a stretcher and getting all the stuff that just put on the VR headset, open the app, and then you're painting.
That's pretty dope. And I think
Yeah,
this would also help people who might not be as art inclined to become better at it.
exactly. That's one of the biggest things. You don't need to be really art inclined. You just need to enjoy the art and
Mhm.
install your app, and then you're good to go.
How cool is that? I can't.
Yeah. So
I'm curious to see what the Oculus 3 will look like because I bet it'll be
yeah,
even more comfortable.
same here. Same here. I've seen some. I don't know previews. I don't know whether it's actually true, but they kind of look smaller and lighter. But let's wait and see. But the exciting times ahead. I think Apple too is trying to work on VR headset or something like that. So we are waiting to see what they're going to bring out. But I'm sure that in less than 5 years, we're going to have people using VR headsets like the way we use our iPhones every day.
I think it's going to be sooner. I think the how many people
Yeah,
bought Oculus this past Christmas is going to be. I give it a year,
man.
maybe 2 tops.
Yeah. And if you're a game head, it's crazy because this the wild games in VR. Like when you're playing a game in VR, yo, I'm not really a game fan. I kind of like when you play some game just to some few minutes. I'm not really a game fan, but people game fanatics playing games in VR is it's crazy. So I think there are some game companies trying to design. There are actually a lot of games on there now. So
Those are the sort of
yeah,
people I'm meeting at the tech conferences, like people who are creating the actual physical hardware for it.
yeah.
I interviewed a
Okay.
young lady a couple of months ago who she makes AR and VR glasses, and
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Jasmine Andrews. That interview,
Okay.
24 years old. Like, there's so many amazing people out here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So it's an exciting time, you know.
yeah, but I think this is a
Exciting time.
good place to wrap. The replay will be up on YouTube. I will link Ahmed's social medias below, and I'm looking forward to catching up with you again. Thank you so much, Ahmed.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I enjoyed this discussion. Bye.